Terry Horan, start of a new season, 23rd as head coach of the Cobbers. A couple of new things, many new things, but a couple of new things right off the bat that we want to talk about. First is, I know you're a coach that likes a strict order. This year with the schooling, it's changed a bit because the school started a week earlier, which meant you had to change your schedule. How's that affected? Because normally, right now, you'd just be in a couple of days of school,
right,
and you would have only had a couple of days of practice after school. How has that changed, what you've done?
You know, we sat down as a staff and just kind of ironed it all out, and it actually went pretty smooth. Now, I don't like to change a whole lot with certain structure, but all in all, we've been able to get everything that we've needed to get done. And like I said, you know, we've had a full week of school and then some, and then obviously playing on the road for the first time, and then coming home next weekend. That'd be like the third weekend that everybody's kind of been here, so I think everybody itching for a home game. And other than that, the kids have handled it with you know, in stride, and our coaches have too. So hasn't affected us a whole lot, no.
Another big change for you guys. You promoted Jake Pollock to the offensive coordinator. What does he bring to that role?
Yeah, he's just done a fantastic job for us. You know, he's coaching our quarterbacks, and he's taken on the old coordinator. Obviously, he came to us from Army, and we're excited to have him in camp. He's a player's coach. The guys have really gravitated towards him, and there's just really great energy in camp. And he's excited, extremely organized, very detailed, a great communicator, laughs a lot, and you know, keeps the guys light, and that's helpful, and I'm really proud of him and what he's been able to do here in such a short time.
Let's go to changes on the offensive side of the ball first. You've got Cooper Mattern back as your quarterback, but after that, skill position-wise, you've got some changes, and especially at the running back. Who are we looking out for as possible players that could shine this year?
Right. Well, at running back, you know, we've got a couple guys that have played for us. Obviously, Colin Conte is a guy that's played in games. He's a senior, and he's, you know, licking his chops for his opportunity. You know, we also, you know, we've got a couple new guys that have come in. Dante Liren, a young man who transferred into us. He was at Jamestown for a year and came in. Xavier Carroll, he had a lot of snaps for us last year too. So we call him Z. So Z and Conte will probably be the bread and butter right out of the gate, especially in game one. But then, you know, we also have some young guys that have done some good things, and we can't forget about the bus either. Austin Burriston. Austin is a senior as well, who's taken some reps in games, and then guys like Jordan Summers and Connor Workman, guys like that have helped with depth too there.
Because the Terry Horan offense doesn't like big fullbacks plowing through the line.
No, not at all, right? But other areas, I know you asked, but, you know, receiver, you got Dawson Schaefer back. You know, Dawson's had a lot of snaps for us. Ben Blancas was a very skilled quarterback for us, a guy who could run. We moved him out to the outside receiver spot during spring ball, and he's really grasped onto that. Jed Klang, another outside receiver, who will be dynamite for us. We also have, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. We're going with just RJ. RJ was playing hoops a year ago. Kid out of Simley High School, is a heck of a wide receiver in high school, and he's really showing his athleticism as well. And then our inside guys, you got Owen Miller, played a lot. He was an all-conference player for us. Captain Joey Hedrick out of T, South Dakota. You know, another guy that's going to see a lot of time, obviously, too.
Now, to the defensive side of the ball, you still got some new faces, but you've got some experience there with Ty Mosier, P.J. Parmalee on the linebacking crew. You've got Chase Doctor and Colin Thompson up front. What does their experience bring to that defense to help settle everything down?
Yeah, well, they've played a lot of snaps. They've been in a lot of big games. So, you know, obviously that calms the head coach quite a bit when you've got guys like that. We have some really good additions too. Will Frecking will start at DN. He's a transfer from St. Olaf. Really has impressed us. He's also a wrestler, so he's kind of like Chase Doctor that way, right? And just done some really good things. Outside guys, Logan Raj, he played a lot for us last year as a freshman, kid out of Arizona. Also Moose and Quinn Miller have all played a lot at the outside backer spot, so there's good experience there. And I really like our secondary too. You know, we got Garrett Peterson back at safety. He's had some knee issues over his career, but he's back healthier than ever. You got Mitchell Sullivan at another safety. You got Stu Demerit at a corner, and he's looking good. And then Caleb Parker, along with Griffin Decker, guys that played a lot for us last year. I think the biggest thing in fall camp is you always try to build depth, right? Because depth at the D3 level never is where you really want it to be. But we've got some good young guys that we're trying to shore up a little bit with their assignments, and the athleticism's there. It's just they're drinking water through a fire hose right now, learning things for the first time. But I like what we have. I like what we're doing up front on the offensive line because we've got some guys there that are back. So it's going to be it'll be interesting to see what happens, especially obviously when we go into this first game where we really don't know a ton about Wisconsin Eau Claire.
With having said that, Eau Claire, brand new coaching staff,
Right.
but you're kind of familiar with that coaching staff because he was at Whitewater. Talk
Right.
a little bit about what he can bring to this
Yeah.
the Eau Claire program.
Yeah, Rob Erickson is the head coach, and a great hire by Wisconsin Eau Claire. I've had, we obviously have had a run-in with Rob when he was at Whitewater on Kevin Bullis' staff, and actually then he was at South Dakota State and won a national championship last year as a DB coach and special teams coordinator and all that kind of good stuff. But he has really put together a great staff, guys that have some good experience, some Division I experience. So there's a wealth of knowledge within their staff, and Eau Claire is a great city. It's probably going to be a good spot to recruit to for those guys, and they know the WIAC really well. What I really like about this game, first of all, no head coach likes going into the game with unknowns, right? But the big thing is, we've got to know ourselves and what we can do, and then handle it as it goes and make some adjustments, and that's what we have to do. But I think opening up with a WIAC school is huge for us, right? It's regional competition. It's a tough league. Usually, you look at the Power Fives of Division III, the WIAC and the MIAC are always in the top five. So that'll be fun. It'll be fun for our kids. It's going to be a warm one, so hydrate up, boys, and it'll be fun to kick off this 106th year of Cobber football.
One last question before you go. Still get the butterflies? 23rd season?
Never changes. And I think, if that does leave me, it's probably time to go. But I'm as excited as I've ever been before. I've got a great staff behind me, and we've got great kids, so we're going to go out and play hard for the Cobs.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.